Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another spread in this watercolor journal I've used last week, and I grabbed the same stack of papers, and especially the one on the right. I really like this and the colors on it, and I wanted to start with a big piece of this one as my background. And as always, I use just a glue stick to adhere my papers. It's just better because I don't have to wait for everything to dry, and I think it's not that important in a sketchbook using something that is more archival or permanent. I try to keep things on the paper that I really liked, and I like the light pinkish color on the top, and I like the dark blue, and so I try to not tear those parts away. This was a paper where I have printed out a stamp set that I have designed just to see how big the images are, and later I used it as a paint palette and just throw on leftover paint and that stuff, so I don't have to throw the paint away. And I really like the texture I have shining through the paints. As always, there is a blog post available on my website where I share the images of the final spread. And yeah, there you can have a closer look at the details. I also want to thank you for your lovely comments you left on my last video. I really enjoy reading them. I really like the first background I have here with the spread, but I wanted to make a collage and I want to make a final piece out of this. Sometimes I feel if you have a nice background that you really like, it's really hard to work on top of that. I prefer having a background or a start of a spread that is not perfect in my eyes, and so it's easier to work on it. Not sure how this is with you. If you have something that you really like, do you feel it's easier to work on that? Or is it easier if you don't like it perfectly and then you can work on it to make it better? Here I'm just randomly picking papers to lay them on my page and see what fits and what does not. Because I just wanted to add something. It's a nice paper, but that's not a full spread. I want to adhere something to the bottom. There I was inspired by one of my smaller pages I did in one of my mini journals. And I wanted to add a piece of tissue with some pattern. And these are all tissue papers. I think I shared a lot of these in my collage paper videos. I can't remember in which one, but I will link up the list for all these collage videos in the end cards. For the bottom, I will go with this tissue paper. It's just with some writing on it. I did with a Pentel brush pen, with a Pentel pocket brush pen, and this pen is permanent once it's dry, so it's great for making collage papers if you use it in bigger artwork where you maybe use gel medium, the ink doesn't bleed. I will adhere this to the bottom, and I will also use something of that pattern paper with the neon orange color, or it's neon red, I believe, not orange. And this one is also tissue, and I stamped it with a stamp and some neon acrylic paint. And what I love about the tissue is once you glue it down, either with gel medium or with a glue stick, it will come very transparent, and that makes it easy to create a pattern on a collage, and it gives some kind of interesting effect with this translucent paper that I really like. I was not perfectly happy with this burnt sienna area here, and I cut out a piece of the leftover collage paper and tear it up to adhere it over this area. I'm a bit unhappy that I have torn it with a white border. I would prefer to have it without that border. I think you know what I mean. If you tear a piece of paper in one direction, you get, especially if it's a colored piece, you get a white edge. I think I will show it in my video. Here you get the white edge. And if you tear it in the other direction, you don't get the white edge. And I play with this effect in my collages. And usually I do it on purpose, but this time I accidentally tore it in the wrong direction. But I think it's not that that dramatic. I will just leave it as it is. I will now add some white on my page because I think everything is pretty colorful, and yeah, I think it needs something to calm down. So I want to make an area with some white paint, and I'm using the Schminke Primacryl here because it's a very opaque white paint, and I want it to be opaque in this case because I want to block in that color to just have an area on my page where you can where there's nothing going on, if that makes sense. And I just quickly threw it on the spread. What I'm also going to do is I will thin down the paint a little bit more and then add some splatters with it. I will now let this dry, and then I will be back to finish up the page. And here I am already. My paint has dried, and in between I have stamped 2 of these houses. I only want to use one, but I was not sure about the colors, but I think I will use the one with the violet. And I would just cut that out and then adhere it to the page. The house is a stamp from our textured houses. I plan to release this set, well, let's say a similar set as a clear set, but not this spring, I think. It might be in summer, so you have to be a bit patient if you want to have houses as clear stamps. I plan to restock the birds, the sketchy birds, and the Pencil Marks 5 soon. I think, hopefully, I will have them beginning of March. And I want to make some new sets that we've never had, so we will see. I don't know what I'm explaining because I did the video in German with the original voiceover, and I'm explaining something I think about where to put the house. And I think it has to go over the white area and not on the left side, because then it would look a bit strange, I feel. And that's something I do because my feelings say that looks better. I think there are some artsy rules out there how to place things on an art piece. To me, the house is a little bit too centered, so it's not perfect, but it just, yeah, it aligns with the bottom piece I have adhered. So I was not sure if I should glue it a bit more downwards or upwards, because it just would not fit this line of my bottom collage piece. I will now make some mark makings with Neo colors. I pick colors that are similar to the ones I have already on the page, and this step of art journaling is my most favorite because I really enjoy playing with crayons and markers and make just some simple patterns that are easy to make and you can't go wrong, I think. I believe I'm searching for a stamp to stamp over the white area, but just a simple text stamp, just to give it a simple black and white texture. I think that it's not that dominant anymore. I think it quite hits your eyes when you look at the page, and so with the text over it, it will just be a little bit less dominant, I think, and the house will maybe be more the focal point than the white spot. Yes, and that's my page for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and you are inspired to create something on your own. I wish you a wonderful weekend and I hope we will see us next time. Bye bye.